Hi, and welcome to the NFPA LiNK YouTube channel. This channel is dedicated to answering your key questions that you have related to electrical and life safety. And today I'm going to be talking about the differences between alarm, trouble, and supervisory when we're looking at fire alarm systems. And I'm going to use NFPA LiNK, which is our digital access to NFPA codes and standards, to be able to answer that question. Now, I think the best way to talk about these differences is actually go into NFPA DiRECT, which is one of our great ways of being able to find codes and standard requirements based on your specific situation. We're going to go by system, fire alarm, and signaling system, and I'm going to look into our main fire alarm system situation here, which is going to provide a lot of requirements for fire alarm systems and provide a lot of explanatory material to help you understand a lot of these things. So if we look number 6 right here, this hotspot, which is right on that alarm trouble supervisory on that fire alarm control unit, we look down here, it's talking about signals and conditions. So we're going to head and click on that solution. This solution provides us with some explanatory material, which we're going to talk about coming up, with links into the different code and standard requirements, as well as more links down to the code or standard requirements below. I'm going to talk about right here a lot of this information we have here about signals and conditions. Now, NFPA 72 utilizes what's known as a condition signal response model. And that is basically a condition is a situation in the environment, which could be, smoke condition could create an alarm condition. And then we have a signal, which is a message that we're sending, say, to the fire alarm control unit. And then we have our response. What's the changes of states that occur on the receipt of that signal? So when we're talking alarm, trouble, supervisory, we have an alarm condition, an alarm signal, and an alarm response. And same thing with trouble and supervisory. So an alarm condition means that there's an immediate threat to life, property, or mission. So an example of this would be a smoke detector is going to send a signal to the fire alarm control unit saying that there's presence of smoke, which would then initiate notification to the occupants to evacuate. That would be our alarm response. If you want to learn more about this, we've got the definitions linked here, which is an abnormal condition that poses an immediate threat to life, property, or mission. So that's alarm condition right there. Next, we have trouble condition, and that's a condition in which there's a fault or an issue with the fire alarm system. So an example could be maybe a break-in initiating device circuit, which would then show up as a trouble signal on that control unit saying, hey, there's a problem with the fire alarm control unit, and something needs to be done to fix that. We could send trouble signals. Maybe our trouble response is that someone's going to be responding to fix that issue with the fire alarm control unit. When you think trouble, it's an issue with the fire alarm system in general. And then we have supervisory condition, and that's a condition which there's an issue with a system, a process, or equipment that's being monitored by the fire alarm control unit. Now, the best example of this, probably the most common example of this, is going to be a sprinkler system. We're going to use supervisory initiating devices to monitor valves of a sprinkler system, or maybe pressure in a dry system or something like that. And we're going to get supervisory signals saying, hey, somebody closed a valve on the sprinkler system. There's no longer water being able to get flowed to the sprinkler system. That's a supervisory condition saying the fire alarm control unit is monitoring something and there's an issue with whatever's being monitored. Another thing could be I could be monitoring maybe a water tank that's providing water to the sprinkler system, to the pump that's going to provide water to the sprinkler system, and I'm monitoring the level and I'm monitoring the temperature. All of that would come in as a supervisory condition through a supervisory signal, and then I'd have that supervisory response. Again, all the definitions, we've got all of them linked here. And then if you want to learn more about, different types of signals, responses, or if you even want to learn just more about fire alarm systems in general, or any type of system in general, go ahead and take a look at LiNK. I highly recommend using that DiRECT feature. And I hope that provided some insight into those alarm, trouble, and supervisory conditions. If you want to learn more about LiNK, how to use LiNK, how to maybe get a free trial and look into it yourself, go ahead and visit nfpa.org/link.